I'll be honest, choosing the cities for this list was very difficult. I'm sure that for some of them, you'll be hearing the names for the first time. And I already know that in the comments you'll tell me which city should have been included and which one should have been replaced. And you'll be right, because making any best-of list is always a very subjective thing. So let's do this. Write your own versions of the 10 most beautiful cities in Slavic countries in the comments and we'll discuss them. And for now, take a look at my personal subjective view. I also want to warn you, I didn't rank these 10 cities because every single one of them deserves first place. This is Slavic, here we talk about Slavs. Please leave a like and let's dive in. So Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, a true tourist mecca. It is the most popular Slavic city among tourists from all over the world, with a population of nearly 1.5 million people. The main reason for Prague's beauty is its well-preserved historical character. Here you can see a centuries-long chronicle of architectural styles, from Gothic and Baroque to avant-garde and Cubism. Prague has a very long history. Construction of Prague Castle began as early as the 9th century. In the 10th century, the Vyšehrad fortress was founded. Today, it is one of Prague's districts and an incredibly beautiful place that attracts many tourists. Another place that impresses with its grandeur is Charles Bridge, a living open-air museum. The panoramic views from this bridge can be seen on postcards all over the world. The heart of the Old Town is Old Town Square. Here you'll find the stunning Gothic church of Our Lady Before Time with its 2 sharp towers, the Baroque church of St. Nicholas, and the Old Town Hall from the Renaissance period. On its southern wall are installed the oldest still working astronomical clock in the world, dating back to 1410. Every year, up to 9 million tourists admire the beauty of Prague, placing it among the most popular and attractive cities in the world, on the same level as Barcelona or Rome. Next on the list is the Croatian city of Dubrovnik, an ancient settlement on the shores of the Adriatic Sea. It was first under Byzantine rule. Later, as the influence of Constantinople weakened, Dubrovnik, then known as Ragusa, swore allegiance to Venice. After that came a period when the city existed as an independent city-state, the Republic of Ragusa. By the way, Dubrovnik is believed to have been the first foreign state to recognize the independence of the United States in 1776. The historical core of Dubrovnik is the Old Town, located within massive defensive walls. Its appearance was fully formed as early as the 17th century. The Old Town is a remarkably well-preserved example of a medieval Mediterranean city. The city walls of Dubrovnik are among the best preserved fortification systems in Europe and are the main attraction for visitors. Situated on a 37-meter high cliff west of Dubrovnik's Old Town, Fort Lovrijenac is a powerful symbol of the city's resilience and independence. The Old Town is also home to the 3rd oldest pharmacy in the world, still in operation, founded in 1317. Lord Byron called this city the Pearl of the Adriatic, and George Bernard Shaw described it as paradise on earth. And it's easy to see why. Dubrovnik enjoys around 250 sunny days a year and is washed by a gentle warm sea. More than 200 beaches with crystal clear emerald water makes this Croatian resort incredibly popular. Moving on, next up is Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, a city with an astonishingly ancient history. On the territory of modern Sofia, archaeologists have discovered remains of ancient structures and barrels dating back, just think about it, to the 6th millennium BC. Researchers believed that a city of some kind has existed on this site continuously throughout history. Sofia has witnessed the Roman Empire, Byzantium, the Huns, and the Ottoman Empire, and each of them left its mark on the architectural appearance of Bulgaria's capital. Today, Sofia is one of the centers of Orthodox Christianity, which is why the city is home to many Orthodox churches. First and foremost is the magnificent Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. This structure impresses with its monumental scale and grandeur. Equally striking are the unique St. Nedelya Cathedral, the Bojana Church, where frescoes dating back to 11th century have been preserved, and the Church of St. Sophia, with its architecture that is quite unusual for an Orthodox church. Without a doubt, special attention should be given to the ancient rotunda of St. George. It was built in the 4th century during the early formation of Christianity. Another historical site from the same period has also survived, the amphitheater of Serdica. Serdica is the ancient name of Sofia. Among the symbols of the Bulgarian capital are the Sofia Central Mineral Baths. They were closed due to unprofitability, and today the City History Museum is located there. Many tourists are drawn to Sofia by its numerous green spaces and, of course, Vitosha Boulevard with its pedestrian zone. Bulgaria's mild and warm climate makes it possible to walk around the city almost all year round. The next city that personally impressed me a great deal is Lviv, located in the far west of Ukraine. Before I start talking about Lviv, I ask you to please leave a like and subscribe. It's very important for us. For about 450 years, Lviv was part of Poland and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And for another 150 years, it was under the rule of Austro-Hungary. Of course, such a history left a strong and vivid mark on the city's architecture. Just look at the Lviv Opera House. It feels as if we've been transported to the streets of Vienna. And here is St. George's Cathedral, an architectural jewel of Lviv. Built in the Baroque and Rococo styles, this architectural ensemble captivates with its beauty. Quite unexpectedly, one of the oldest religious architectural monuments in Lviv is the Armenian Cathedral. Decorated with mystical frescoes by Jan Henrik Rosen, it was built in the mid-14th century and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Another fascinating landmark is the Corniat Palace with its Italian courtyard. The building's present appearance combines elements of Gothic, Renaissance, and Empire styles. And of course, the heart of the city is its main square, called Market Square. Formed by 44 ancient and unique buildings, the square has a nearly perfect square shape. It is home to the City Hall, as well as many outstanding architectural landmarks such as the Black House, also known as the Black Stone House, and the Bandinelli Palace. Both of these buildings were constructed back in the 16th century. Market Square is a favorite place for relaxation for both locals and the many tourists who come to Lviv. Moving on, we arrive in Wrocław, an incredibly beautiful city in southwestern Poland. The city is rich in waterways, as 4 tributaries flow into the Oder River here. Because of this, Wrocław is often called the City of 12 Islands. Naturally, the city has a large number of bridges, more than 100, and many of them are truly breathtaking. One of the city's symbols is the Grunwaldzki Suspension Bridge, opened at the very beginning of the last century. Throughout its history, the city passed from Poland to Bohemia, then to Austria, to Prussia, and eventually back to Poland. The heart of the old town is the medieval market square, which is completely surrounded by magnificent historic architecture, cozy cafes, and small shops. The main landmark of the square is the town hall, a masterpiece of Silesian Gothic first mentioned as early as the 13th century. Not far from the market square stands the impressive Gothic cathedral of St. Mary Magdalene, also built in the 13th century. Another iconic feature of the city is the Wrocław dwarfs. These small bronze figurines are scattered throughout the city. The first dwarfs appeared in the 1980s when they served as symbols of political protest in communist Poland. Wrocław is also home to many other stunning buildings that adorn the city, such as the Opera House, the University of Wrocław, the National Museum, and the Centennial Hall. Nearby is the musical fountain, the largest in the country, which amazes visitors with its scale and length. Next on my list we move to Suzdal, a city that is essentially an open-air museum, often referred to as a museum town or a protected heritage city. Its population is under 10,000 people, and nearly all jobs in the city are one way or another connected to the tourism industry. 2 years ago, Suzdal celebrated its millennium. The modern appearance of the city feels as if it transports us 1,000 years back in time. Unique cathedrals and churches, along with numerous ancient monasteries, make Suzdal one of the centers of Orthodox Christianity. The Suzdal Kremlin is the oldest part of the city and its historical core. It was here that the future Moscow state began to take shape, at the time when Moscow itself did not yet even exist. The Museum of Wooden Architecture deserves special attention. The museum recreates the layout of a small village from the Vladimir Governorate. All the houses and exhibits are authentic historical structures dating from the 14th to the 18th centuries. In summer, tourists are taking on carriage rides, in the winter on sleigh rides. All of this adds a certain fairy tale mystery to Suzdal. The next Slavic city that impresses with its scale and beauty is Kiev, an ancient Slavic city founded as early as the 5th century AD. It has an incredibly rich history. Without a doubt, one of the city's main landmarks is one of the most important sacred sites of Orthodox Christianity worldwide, the Kiev-Pechersk Laura. The Laura's bell tower deserves special attention, and it's also one of the most recognizable symbols of Kiev. Another Orthodox shrine and symbol of Kiev is St. Sophia Cathedral, which is over 1,000 years old. The unique medieval frescoes on its walls have survived to this day in the original untouched form. Like Sofia, this city can also be considered one of the centers of Orthodox Christianity. Numerous monasteries, cathedrals, and churches carefully preserve their remarkable history. Kiev's main street is called Krishatik. It is a favorite place for both locals and visiting tourists. This beautiful avenue runs through the city's main square, known as Independence Square. This place has long become a symbol of the Ukrainian people's struggle for freedom. The city is also home to many other remarkable places and beautiful buildings such as the National Opera House and the famous house with chimeras. Kiev's landscape adds a special charm to the city. This incredibly green city stands on 7 hills, which is why breathtaking panoramic views open up from many points around the city, including stunning views of the Dnipro River. Let's head back to the Adriatic once again. Less than 100 kilometers from the Croatian city of Dubrovnik lies the Montenegrin town of Kotor. The city is located in the picturesque Bay of Kotor. The first mentions of it date back to the 2nd century BC. Romans lived here, then Byzantium ruled the area, and in the 12th century the Serbs arrived, marking the beginning of Kotor's Slavic history. Later, in order to escape Ottoman conquest, Kotor came under the long-term protection and rule of the Venetian Republic. Naturally, such a past left a strong mark on the city's appearance. Old Kotor is a car-free pedestrian zone made up of narrow alleyways with massive walls and powerful stone staircases. Alongside traditional Montenegrin houses, you'll find the old city fortifications here. Kotor's defensive structures are impressive in scale. The walls of the main fortress reach up to 20 meters in height and 16 meters in thickness. Thanks to the coordinated work of architects, engineers, and military builders, Kotor was able to withstand sieges for centuries. The city is home to unique architectural monuments, such as the Cathedral of St. Tryphon, built in the 12th century, the Church of St. Nicholas, and the remarkable Church of St. Luke, which until 17th century had 2 altars, one Orthodox and one Catholic. By the way, During the Ottoman invasion of the Balkans, many Christians found refuge in Kotor. The fortress of St. John is the highest point of the city. From here, breathtaking panoramic views open up over the Bay of Kotor and the magnificent old town. It's impossible to show all the beauty of this small town in just a few minutes, so I highly recommend visiting it in person, and the most romantic way to do so is aboard a large cruise ship, many of which stop here. The next city is St. Petersburg, the former capital of the former Russian Empire. The city is closely associated with the name of the Russian Tsar Peter the Great, who, while still young, traveled to Western Europe and even spent several months living in Amsterdam. After returning to Russia, Peter became obsessed with the idea of building a European-style city in Orthodox Russia. Construction began in the early 18th century. To help Russian architects design the city, Peter invited renowned Italian and French architects. That's why St. Petersburg's architecture so closely resembles that of Italian or French cities. Today, St. Petersburg is a vast metropolis with a population of over 5.5 million people. In Western Europe, only London surpasses it in size. The city's cultural and architectural landmarks are known all over the world. The Hermitage is St. Petersburg's main attraction and the second largest art museum in the world. One of the city's symbols is St. Isaac's Cathedral, while the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood, built in the Russian style, amazes visitors with its intricate beauty. Kazan Cathedral is one of the largest churches in St. Petersburg. The Peter and Paul Fortress, located in the very center of the city on a small island, is considered the historical core around which St. Petersburg was built. In the heart of the city lies the vast palace square where the famous Alexander Column stands. Another iconic symbol of St. Petersburg is its famous drawbridges. The most beautiful of them, the Palace Bridge, celebrates its 110th anniversary this year. To conclude, I want to mention the magnificent surroundings of St. Petersburg. The Gothic palace stables in Peterhof occupy an entire city block. The Tsarskoye Selo Museum Reserve is an outstanding monument of world architecture, and the Palace and Park complex of Peterhof, stretching along the shore of the Gulf of Finland, impresses with its scale and grandeur. And now we have reached the end of the list, and we simply can't forget its true jewel, Krakow, located in southern Poland. Its full name is the Royal Capital City of Krakow. When you arrive here, you won't need to ask why it's called royal. The city is over 1,000 years old and it's the ancient capital of Poland. At the very center, of course, is the Market Square, one of the largest medieval squares in Europe. In the middle of the square stands the Cloth Hall, rebuilt in 1555, in the Italian Renaissance style. On one side of the Cloth Hall is a nearly 1,000-year-old Romanesque church of St. Adalbert, and on the other side stands the Town Hall Tower. Above the square rise two Gothic towers of St. Mary's Basilica. This square is always filled with tourists, and St. Mary's Basilica deserves special attention. It is one of Krakow's calling cards. Inside, you can see a magnificent carved altar and hear the famous melody played from the church tower 4 times a day. One of the most fascinating places in Krakow is Wawel Castle. In the past, it served as a royal residence. Today, it welcomes tourists and anyone wishing to immerse themselves in city's unique historical atmosphere. To touch Krakow's heroic past, you can visit the Barbican, a fortified watchtower that once defended the city. Collegium Maius is a building of the Jagiellonian University and one of the oldest university buildings in all of Europe. The university was founded in the 14th century. Here you can walk through Gothic stone corridors, feel like a medieval student, and visit a real alchemy room where the instruments of Copernicus himself are preserved. And Krakow is also an incredibly green city. 53% of its territory is covered by green spaces. You can stroll through the famous Plenty Park or visit the Volsky Forest. Well, that's it. This was my personal top 10 of the most beautiful cities inhabited by Slavic peoples. You can share your own version in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it's very important for us. If you have the opportunity, please support our work on Patreon or right here on YouTube. This was Slavic, I'm saying goodbye and see you in the next video.